My lead. All right. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome in to the broadcast booth tonight. We are very excited. It's going to be a great night of F1 racing here, like we always do. In the booth, as always, it is always Jake, Joy. Geez, what am I saying? Uh, I have my Canadian brother from another mother, the Xfinity Series driver, Mr. Speed Racer. Speed, welcome back, and good chance to have you back in the booth, bub.
Yeah, gonna have a fun night ahead. Maybe it's because you're so joyful. That's why you said Joik. Joyful Jake. Joik.
Pretty much. But no, so pretty much we were supposed to race at
Monaco.
Monaco, but they changed things, and yeah, so we're gonna be racing at Great Britain, I believe, Silverstone, correct?
Yeah, yep, that's where we're at.
And of
Supposedly.
course, uh, in case you guys missed out on what happened last week, we was live, and of course, Jackson Altman picked up a short race win. I think I it's hard to tell where we was last weekend, but either way, though, we are very excited to get a chance to have this race happening for you guys, and of course, talk about the role that Jackson Altman has been on as of late.
Yeah, he's won, I believe, at least the last two races. Even if he hasn't, he's been up front for all of them. And Red Bull in general has kind of had a good run lately. But you know, with Red Bull's good run, I think hopefully Ferrari, maybe an Alfa Romeo car can get some more points tonight.
Yeah, and it looks like we're about to get ready to get things started here as we are about to go qualifying for the first time tonight. It's gonna be some brand new difficulties, and of course, Great Britain. I'm excited for this one. I've heard great things about this track. I think I actually got a chance to watch the real Great Britain race. Uh, really gonna be interesting, and of course, as far as the drivers tonight, we didn't really get a chance to take a look at that drivers list, but I think we do have about, let's see here, about between 12 to 13 drivers.
I think I saw somewhere between 12 to 14. Me and you add two to the lobby, and I think I saw 15. So 15 minus 2 would be 13. Um, I'm in physics, so if I can't do 15 minus 2, then I should probably drop that class immediately. But needless to say, Silverstone going to be an exciting race. But before we get to that, we got to get qualifying. Jake, any picks for pole based on what you know and who you do see in the field?
Pretty much Jackson Altman. Jackson Altman, or if let's see here, Clay Praying's in this. Yeah, I am glad to see there's one driver on the list to see out there that is good already. God, of course we see Furchinator. Oh man, if Ballstick was here, if Ballstick was here.
Yeah, I notice with the races we've called throughout this season, Jackson is the guy who will put out the blistering lap and maybe qualify in pole, but Clay is the guy who will let the race come to him during the race and challenge Jackson. So,
Yeah, well, we'll see how it goes as we get ready to start with the qualifying session at the moment. This is going to be a very great one. I'm excited for this. And we do see a couple of drivers that are on their outlap. Uh, we have Always Freedom. I think this might be my first time seeing him racing tonight. I gotta cut out for a little bit because I'm trying to reach for my pizza.
yeah, as him and the whole field just did, they got all the way to Monaco and they were like, who needs Monaco when we got Silverstone? Flew out here to Silverstone, and Freedom Flyers literally just asked the race at like 9:55, and he's already out in his outlap and qualifying. Be
Yep.
interesting to see how he does. I
Yep.
believe, is that an Alpine? That is an Alpine car.
Yeah, it is.
Alpine
Sorry about
does
that.
need. It's all right. Alpine does need a solid run, so maybe Freedom can get that for him tonight. As there is only 15 cars, so only 5 will not get points.
And of course, I mean, we're seeing Jackson Allman, we're seeing Already God. I'm glad to see Already God is back, but I think him and Fortunet are teammates. Wow,
Oh,
something's they're just slowing down in Sector One. Back to Freedom.
gonna be curious to see how Heredia and Freedom do their laps. Freedom looks like he's gonna have a little bit of slipstream from that Ferrari to start the lap anyway.
Yeah, pretty much Already God. I definitely need to go ahead and get my lap data out because that's what's so great about F1 as something's going on in Sector 1, I believe. But yeah, that's a great thing about F1 is that we actually do have a lap counter compared to some race games. Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll say this though is that I'm excited because Jax or Speed. By the end of the month, you and Electric, you guys will get a chance to do another dirt racing game with the World of Outlaws, and we'll definitely give that a try, right?
I mean, I'll give it a try. I'm not a huge dirt guy. I like to stick to asphalt. It looks like, is there a, we in a red? Or is the track map just red from Freedom?
Where it's pretty much where he must have got himself a penalty.
Oh, invalid lap time. Okay,
Battle that
gotcha
time,
now.
yeah.
I expect, to be honest, he was a little loose that lap anyway from looks of things in Sector 1, so maybe it's for the best. Get some heat on that tire as you go and run another lap. I'm going to
And
go up to,
already a god. Uh, already a god. I guess is the first one to get the fastest lap with a 1:31.6.
my eyes on Jackson Altman. He's one of the last cars around the track, and when he crossed the line to end Sector 1, it was purple. I'm no expert, but I know purple in this game
Darludo
is good.
with a 1:28.0 in Darludo.
Another purple sector for Jackson Altman. Needs to get through Sector 3 smooth.
Oh yeah, you can tell he's liking to hear.
It's going to be closer than I thought. 128 flat.
Oh my god, yeah, 1:28 flat, but not faster
Not
compared to
faster
Darludo.
than Darludo. Those Red Bulls are super fast in qualifying. Both running 128 flats. Looks like that's 4/10 faster than anybody in the field. And 3 seconds faster than fourth on back as of right now. Still early though. A lot of guys haven't even gotten laps yet.
Yeah, there's Electric
Electric
Blade,
Blade.
1:27.
I didn't expect this
Wow,
kind of pace from the podium in qualifying anyway.
this is going to be a very fun race. As Ultra fan is getting hyped up in the college football chat over Louisville, which go Hokies go. Um, yeah, and also I'm on Jackson Allman real quick, and he's got an invalid lap time. He's coming down to the pits at the moment, as well as Darludo is in the pits. Electric Blade though with a 1:29 though, that's insane.
Yeah, it is. I'm gonna watch that Alfa Romeo of always, Eric. I know I've stressed that those Alfa Romeos need points, and always Eric finally delivered last week, but they need more than that. Both Eric and the team, as it looks like either Wormule or Masopes is wiped out. I'm going to say Wormule because it says Masopes is in pit road.
No, yeah. But I am sad about one thing, though, in this race. We don't get a chance to see Breakerhoff spin. Aw. Maybe next time.
We still could get Furch cut in the grass like it's Mario Kart. Here comes Eric, starting his lap now. Looked like he got through the first couple turns pretty good. I've watched Freedom get loose there earlier.
Yeah, but hopefully, and I think with where we are at, I don't know if this is secretly a tribute to the Queen. I mean, we are in England at the moment, so this is a little tribute race to the Queen, I guess, right?
That's possible. Looked like Eric had a solid first sector. Maybe not the fastest, but good enough for what Alfa Romeo could be looking for here. Sector 2, a lot of Sector 2 is straightaways. This part here bends a little bit, but most of it is in the gas still. Eric's going to get through a little bit of grass, perhaps on his left front, but that was apparently the best Sector 2 out of anybody. That Alfa Romeo, maybe if he has the best Sector 3, he can pull a pretty good lap.
Oh, so we'll see how it goes as he is about to cross the start-finish line this time by, and he is gone. I don't think he's going to beat a
He's going to,
127.
no,
No,
129.1.
1.
Still puts him solidly within the top 10. He'll get 6th for right now, but you're going to need a little bit more pace to hang with Clay, the Red Bulls, and the Haas, driven by Electric Blade.
You know what scares me, though?
What?
Birch is ahead of Heredia. That scares me.
You do bring up a good point. However, this is just qualifying, and if anybody is going to DNF this race, I believe we're talking about him.
We love you, Birch.
We love you, but every time I've seen you race F1, you've been missing a wing or in the grass. So hopefully, I'm not given a reason to watch you during this race.
We'll give him a little, like 5 minutes, like maybe about 2 minutes worth of spotlight time, and then something happens to him.
I think it's just that commentator's curse. I've noticed lately the curse is much worse on the F1 side than it is the NASCAR side.
Oh, hands down.
Which is kind of weird because it's actually usually the opposite. But, you know what? As Alabama says, roll tide. Sometimes you just got to roll with the tides. And these tides are kind of unlucky for these F1 drivers lately.
Sorry about that. My headphones being stupid.
Looks like most of the guys are just kind of chilling or in the pit road right now. It looks like Jackson Altman is back on track, trying to improve on his lap, but I don't see how you get much better than that.
It's really hard to say at this moment. I don't know. The way I feel about it is that we're about less than about 7 minutes away until the end of qualifying. Something's got to give here, as all these yellows are pretty much a slow pace, getting their tires ready. And Jackson
he did
with a
127.8 on the pole.
127.8. How can you top that?
Those Red Bulls, I don't know. They do say Red Bull gives you wings, but I think it's giving them more than that. Or just flying around Silverstone right now.
They are truly flying around. Oh my gosh.
As Freedom and Worm retires from session. I'm surprised Worm retired without running a lap. Freedom makes a little bit of sense. I saw he was struggling with the loose car, so the fact that he was that loose and still recovered to P6, I think is still solid for him.
I don't know, but I gotta say this though. This is gonna be a fun race to call, especially whenever we see the lap times that these drivers are putting. I'm, for one, am ready to see how this goes.
Well, I know if I were running this race, I'd probably be hanging out with my soaps. So, maybe even slower. So, definitely, congrats to those guys running 127s. To me, that's insane. But, we still got 5 minutes left in this session, so if
Yeah,
Allen or Furch or Heredia, maybe one of those guys want to improve on their lap, this is the moment.
this is the time to shine.
Looks like Furch through 2 sectors of the track is 2/10 off of his original lap, though, and his original lap only gets him in 10th, so not sure how. Oh, and he's agreeing with me and going to the pits. Okay. Allen's going to do the same. He's an entire second off. Everybody's going to pit road. They've had enough. And
Yeah, they definitely.
they said, you guys think you're getting some entertainment out of us these last 5 minutes? Suckers. We're going to pit road. Screw you guys and your fun booth. Why would we do that?
Hey, about 4 minutes away until we get a chance to start the race. So, for anyone that's watching us live, we are about to have a lot of fun. This is about to be a great race. And, I gotta tell you this though. We went from the drama after the Cup Series race from Big Jim calling out Joker to hopefully a calmer thing that's come next week. So, excuse me. Golly. But make sure you guys follow us and subscribe to us here on YouTube because we got plenty more racing to come.
And in case you want to know what Jake is talking about, and maybe you didn't catch Richmond, I think both the streams are up on our YouTube right now. It's just you guys check those out. As a person who raced it, the Xfinity race was quite entertaining as well. And obviously, as you know now, Jim and Always Joker got into it, which was very interesting. I suggest you go check that out if you're a fan of our NASCAR side.
NASCAR, the real NASCAR Cup Series ain't got nothing on us.
No, they do not.
Yeah, which we'll get a chance to talk about that. Probably this coming Sunday. We already know who I got my pick. Oh my god!
Darludo.
I give up. I just jinxed it. I swear to God, I just
He
did.
comes out to pit road and says, "Hey Jackson, anything you could do, I could do better." Gets a pole, another lap, 127.7. Honestly, I'm not too sure at this rate. Jackson may not just come out of pits and run in 127.6 just for the fun of it, eh?
Do you remember how I asked earlier who can top Jackson's time? Yeah.
Maybe it's his teammate.
Ay. Less than 2 minutes away, and there's no way. I'm sorry, but you're not gonna top what Darludo just did.
We didn't. I think we've said that about 3 times in this qualifying session, and each time I turn to one of these Red Bull cars, I see purple all over the track map. So it's the only game purple is good in, by the way. If you play Super Mario Brothers, purple typically bad.
Don't forget though. I mean, we got 2 Pokemon games going to come out, Violet and Scarlet. So I'm ready for November now.
Kind of noticed looking at Darludo, kind of watching him. He's got a little bit of like some dirt and some wear on his side. Like maybe he's besides his little little donut that I caught, maybe he's kind of went off a little bit here and there.
And and of course, Darludo is going to retire from the session. Jackson Altman's on his out lap.
I was gonna say, Jackson's gonna go for it. He's not shy.
No, he is not. No, he is not.
We're gonna have our eyes on Jackson this whole lap. See if he can top that lap. Pretty sure Electric Blade is out there as well.
Yeah, he is. And Clay, oh my God, 127.8. And Jackson is getting ready to cross the start-finish line. This will be potentially be his final lap.
He's gonna have one more lap here. Looks really fast through this part of the track. Needs good turn here, not to get loose on exit.
Yeah,
looks like he
so
did
far,
pretty solid.
good sector 1 thus far, but the thing is, he's got to be able to keep it up going into sector 2. As these drivers have less than 3 minutes left till the end of this qualifying session.
His sector 1 was not the best, so he's gonna need to get a little bit more than that if he wants the pole. He's also got to avoid that car who just thinks the straightaway is parallel parking. He goes through the bendy part of the track. Jackson clearly spends a lot of it on throttle. Looks like he just downshifts more or less than letting off the gas. Not sure if that'll help your engine, but apparently increases speed, so whatever.
Yeah, and Lutch Days retires with the start at the 13th position. Yeah, Clay is not going to be able to beat that.
Jackson Altman's gonna come around 127.6. I told you.
What the hell? Sorry for the language, but what the?
Anything you could do, I can do better.
Can do better. Oh my God.
I told you. I said, watch Jackson come out and run a 127.6 just out of spite to get the pole. And guess what he does? With the at the buzzer. Jackson Altman. Oh.
Wow. I'm blown away right now. I'm done at this point.
You know, if you want to start the conspiracy theories, you want to know who put up the poll to switch to Silverstone?
Jackson Altman.
You want to know who won the poll?
Jackson Altman.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, do you think he's going to win the race, though?
Both of those two are very fast compared to one another when they're alone. But with Clay still that close and those two setting those type of laps by themselves, we need a sample size of them two together to pick a clear winner. This is way too close. I do know, however, I'll add on to my point before there's too long of an awkward pause. If there's anybody in this series who can get a really good start, it is probably Jackson Altman. And it's even easier to get a good start when you have nobody in front of you.
Yeah, but at the same time, though, the way I feel about it is that you have really tough competition. I mean, look at what Darludo just did. And of course, we can't forget about Clay. Clay can run up there. I mean, he's finished a couple of podiums, even got himself a couple of wins in this series this season. I think as far as Jackson's biggest challenge, it's going to have to be Clay, both Darludo and Hayes Clay. As far as drivers like Masobes and Heredia, I mean Heredia has a shot. I mean, we've seen how fast it can be. but he hasn't been really running like he usually does, like the last couple of seasons. Sorry.
Well, I think on top of that too, a thing to note that we haven't noted a whole pile.
Um, Wait, hang on. As red lights are out, we are underway here at Silver Springs. And look at Clay's. I told you about this earlier, their speed, and there's something going on. It's Virginator.
Oh, what did he do? He's hitting
Sand.
signs. He's in the sand. And now it's
Oh,
around.
Dallin.
As his battle for the lead still going on, Clay not going anywhere, like you said.
That's going to be Jackson's biggest challenge.
Clay, he's taking the lead, and he made it look easy.
Wow.
That right there is even more impressive. To pass a lap, that was. Oh wait, no, never mind. Look at the tires Jackson's on. That's actually clever.
What's he on?
Jackson, ladies and gentlemen, is on what we call hard tires.
What?
Meaning, both of those two Red Bull cars, as Masopes goes around, both those two Red Bull cars, who are the fastest in the field, will also have long run cars because they're on hard tires and Clay's on softs. That's actually a bold strategy.
And there's only 3 drivers in the field, and they see on our predicted pit stop strategy between lap 6 to 9 and 17 to 22 is that not only is both the Red Bull cars are on hards, but also Killer XL is on hards, while everyone but Clay is on mediums. And for Clay, he's gonna have to take advantage of being in the lead as much as he can, because he's gonna have to come down here between about at least 4 to 8 laps to go put in some mediums. For him, he needs to put mediums then hards. That's why I see it.
One thing I'm interested to see though, this battle for third, his first car on mediums versus the last car on hard. Well, the second last car on hards. I guess Killer XL is also on hards, which not sure if I would go the hards strategy if I were that far back. To be honest, I might have even sided with Clay on the softs because that's more of an advantage than the hards. As Masopes is just making his race significantly worse.
And speaking of the devil himself, he just found out.
Oh, and always Eric also around.
Oh, there's something
Oh,
going on.
contact!
Oh my god.
The Alpine, always freedom.
DRS is enabled. Why did I say it like that? I don't know.
I had a great view of that because I was watching him when it happened. Car below him, I forget at this very moment in time, I'm so shocked, got loose and freedom just had nowhere to go. Kind of looked like a NASCAR crash, but Formula One, these cars aren't as strong. They don't have fenders that they can just take all that abuse from. So I would assume, I don't know what exactly they're called in F1, but the part of his car that holds his tire onto his car is probably damaged. Maybe his wing too as well. Tough break for freedom.
Yeah, tough break for him. Sorry, as I'm eating pizza right now. Wormel with a 3-second time penalty.
It's not good.
He had a terrible race last week.
Oh, electric 3-second time penalty. Brutal with the time penalties right now.
I'll be sorry, be better, question mark?
I mean, we're on lap 3, and 3 of the 15 cars already have time penalties, and if you want to include freedom, 4 or 5 have already had problems.
Yeah, I mean, and this is going to be a very good question. Is we've seen it on the lap data is that and Wormel is done. Don't know what happened to him, but back to what I was saying, and we do have a couple of drivers that are in pits right now. Always Freedom is in pits at this time, and he is probably going to be taking, and we'll see what he takes. He's taking the softs.
Yeah, he's going to need the softer tire to gain some time back up. I'm assuming he's repairing some sort of damage in there as well. I don't know if I think you can repair damage in F1, so
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
yeah. So he's going to repair some damage. He's going to put on the softs, try and gain some sort of time back. Luckily, there are some guys with time penalties and on mediums, so that alone will just gain him time back. He also
Yeah.
has more pace than those guys, so hopefully he can gain some sort of finish
Yeah,
out of this.
and real quick though, Hayes Clay with a 2.0 second lead over Jackson Altman at the moment. And of course, something that we didn't focus on is that one Portuguese dude is in third. What happened to Darludo?
Yeah, so Darludo, in all that chaos that was happening, I don't know if he was a part of what happened with Freedom, but I know he was around it. So that could have slowed him down. As always, Eric is
Eric
filling in for Darludo. Or not Darludo, Brinkerhoff.
Brinkenhoff. Hey, he must have heard me missing that. Hey, thank you there.
But anyways, as I was saying, I think he just made a few mistakes or got cut up in an incident with Freedom. And one of the cars that passed him and that Portuguese dude is also on mediums, which will make him faster for this exact second, but he might gain that spot back.
Oh, he's going to.
I'm So if you're on the softs, will you have to take an extra pit stop?
If you're on the softs, yeah, you're gonna have to. You're gonna have to.
Well, considering the fact that I've seen these guys race the softs in the rains and intermediates in the dry, and softs typically last 10 laps anyway, I think if you really wanted to stretch it, you could almost make it to halfway even on softs, but you'd be slower by the time you made it there. I don't know what fuel is like in an F1 car, but I know your tires could go just about that far. So if you went around that far and took mediums or hards, that might be a good strategy.
Yeah.
As always, Freedom has decided that him retiring wasn't enough, so his AI has got to bring out a caution in Sector 2. But
Yeah, I mean, and Wormel is back now, and pretty much he, excuse me, pretty much didn't miss anything as far as the
Clay,
race.
Clay,
3 second time penalty.
that would put him behind Jackson Altman, and Jackson's on the hards. So
Wow.
even though it says 1.7 there, folks, add 3 seconds to that. Jackson Altman has about a second and a tenth lead, I want to say. But now it's going to be about a second because he's going to fall back to 2 seconds. So yeah, with that time penalty, Jackson would be in front by a second on the hards. As Freedom has
Oh.
decided that he's done, and Heredia is going to get a time. And Ronnie Mac's going to get a time penalty.
What happened?
In the span of one corner, two cars just got a time penalty. And on top of that, I was talking about Clay's time penalty.
Jesus.
So everybody is crashing or getting time penalties or in hards from the looks of things.
What a wild, rocky start to this race, and yeah, we are around some pit stops, so expect these drivers to do come in at least between 2 to 3 laps at the moment.
Yeah. Jackson Altman is now starting to gain on Clay with those hards. Those softs are wearing out. So on top of that time penalty, you're now actually losing physical time, not just technical.
And
As
always Eric
always,
for this.
Eric has decided that it wouldn't be a race if he himself didn't also get a time penalty, so let's just cut this corner real quick and give ourselves one.
Yeah, as we do see, Jackson Altman trying to be able to catch up to Clay.
We're going to look a little further back in the pack for a second, since that is a second half deficit. If you look, Darludo and Killer are now very close to each other. I would mention Heredia, but he's a second behind and has that time penalty, so technically he's like 4 seconds back, which is kind of irrelevant, even if he passes all these cars.
You know what I'm surprised about though?
What?
We haven't seen a safety car or a virtual safety car.
As Clay's now in pits. This is the disadvantage of taking softs, is now he has to take an extra pit stop, and he was slower at the end of that run, and he has a time penalty.
Oh, and there is a driver. Oh, just side by side. Yeah, here comes Jackson Altman to the inside of Clay.
That's
And
Clay's on pit road. This is
big that 140.
Darludo passing Porchy dude, right?
And look at the
Darludo's
Red
back?
Bulls fighting for the lead.
What? They're 7 seconds ahead. Oh, Porchy!
Oh, was it
No,
Porchy? Oh, that was Porchy.
Porchy, no, no. Porchy goes around. That puts Killer on the podium. All hard tires on the podium right now. Very interesting strategy call, but it's working.
That's definitely working right now. I mean,
If you're wondering, Clay came out on hard tires. Not sure if I don't understand Clay's pit strategy this race. If he happens to get a top 3, I think that's gonna be the first question I ask him. 'Cause I don't understand the logic behind.
F1, yeah.
But oh,
Oh boy, what happened?
Darludo forgets that the track's on his right and goes in the grass a little bit. If he got anything, it was just a warning though, no time penalty, and he's back on track and looks like everything's straightened up. And he might lose a spot to Killer though. Killer's on his inside, and he's gonna clear him. Alpine car up in second place is Masope's just oh.
Oh man. Oh, Mason. With a DNF, he's done.
Mercedes, another one of those teams that just can't seem to buy a break lately.
He can't buy nothing.
What he did buy was WWE 2K or NBA, wrong 2K, NBA 2K23. He did buy that.
Yeah, I bet we're gonna be having a lot of fun having myself, Joker, you, and Electric play that together.
Potentially. But Jackson Altman, while this battle seems to be on a little bit of break, we're going to mention the leader. He is 10 seconds in front of second place right now.
My gosh.
It's Friday night. He's got a 10-second lead. Only 16 laps to go. He is chilling. He could pause and let his AI drive for a few laps. It doesn't matter.
I mean, he could probably be playing "Here I Go Again" by Whitesnake in this car, just singing like Clint Boyer would do.
Clint Boyer would be the type of guy who would do a lot of things while racing on a video game. Some of the things he would probably do, I can't mention on a live broadcast. So what we're gonna mention is how Darludo is slowly, like turtle speed slow, catching back up to Killer.
He's slowly catching up to him at the moment. I mean, they're right there. So I do see Darlo trying to be able to catch up to Killer. Although you gotta be really impressed with what Killer's been working on as of late. One thing I do want to send a shout out to is Ronnie Mack, who is fighting in a really great spot between him and Darludo. The only I forgot what they were called. Oh my lord, Joker's team
He is
out
in
there.
the
McLaren.
McLaren. What I was going to mention though is he unfortunately does have a time penalty, so he's in fifth physically. However, with the time penalty, he's in sixth, and if already passed him, you know. So definitely a good run though, nonetheless. I know Joker somewhere's. Oh my goodness!
Oh no,
Don't do this to us, Ronnie. Keep your foot in it. Keep your foot in it.
he's losing a lot of spots. He's getting ready to lose another spot to Heredia.
Oh brother.
Oh no.
Oh, he throws it in there deep. That's what she said. Not to me, of course.
Shush, shush. This is rated G, not rated PG-13 in their speed. But Ronnie Mack lost that spot to Electric Blade, but here he comes. He's not going to do anything.
I think you'll be able to set up a pass on this Haas machine if he just gets back in rhythm. He's had decent pace all race. He's had a few mistakes. He's got that time penalty, but if he gets DRS and uses DRS at the same time, he's going to clear that Haas car, set it up perfectly. He's going to start to drive away, starting on this front stretch as Heredia peels down into pit road behind them.
Yeah, Heredia is someone who we didn't mention, who we haven't got a chance to really talk about much in this race, is currently in seventh, working his way up there. You know what? I gotta say this though, for a Ferrari, he's been working his way up there, but I don't really see him get a chance to reach up to the top three. I mean, surprisingly enough, this entire season, he's not really had the statistics that you would see from a Heredia god, but he's he's with us whenever he gets a chance to, and we definitely do appreciate Heredia for that.
No, he's kind of experiencing what some NASCAR and Formula One drivers are right now in real life, where like you have a new race car and you're a good driver. Heredia is a race-winning driver, ladies and gentlemen, but whether it's because he's not used to the new car, maybe he's not comfortable with it, maybe it just doesn't match his driving style. Either way about it, he just hasn't had the speed we're used to seeing him have. And you could say the same thing about his teammate Tiger NASCAR, who's not even here tonight. He's the same way. We've all seen him do it on the NASCAR side. He gets on a road course and he just flies, man. But this new Formula One car this season, it's no joke. It's super loose off the corners. The braking, I've heard, is even a little bit different. And of course, the new game will have its own new set of challenges. So definitely thrown those two Ferrari cars off. But hopefully by the end of the season, they can figure it out.
We've seen all the challenges that has happened, and I gotta say, this car has made things a little bit interesting.
As always, Eric has decided to get another time penalty just for the fun of it. Uh, looks like Killer's still on the tail of blacks. Some of these cars are on the mediums are coming in now, but those cars on the hards are still staying out. How long do you think they can stay out for, Jake?
As far as the hards, I say between about my guess is 2 to 3 laps. There's no way they can stay out for at least however remaining we have left in this race. I do think that you will see these drivers potentially coming in, I say between at least 2 to 3 laps, in my opinion.
I think if I were these guys, what I would do is I would come in on lap 16 out of 26 and take mediums. But that's just me personally. Um, One thing I've noticed as I'm watching the telemetry and all that, Killer's right behind Darludo, but he's really saved his ERS here, as Darludo's just gonna get a time penalty. So now Killer's technically ahead of him with the time penalty. Uh, wow, the time penalties this race are unreal. Uh,
Yeah, we've had some crazy time penalties in this race.
in case you were wondering, and you can't see that via intervals that I have up, Jackson Altman is now up to almost a 14-second lead, and that's without the time penalty. So it's really more like 14 and a half, 15. Uh, I Oh my goodness. Always Eric. Oh.
He is definitely representing Breakerhoft here tonight.
The pavement is supposed to be where you stay. The track was paved for cars to race on it. The grass is there mainly for looks. I don't it's a suggestion that you don't drive on the grass or cut the corners. But always Eric has said, I don't need suggestions from you, Speed Racer. You're in the booth and I'm a driver for a reason. So I'm just going to keep cutting the track. Swarm sets fastest lap. I guess that's his goal at this point.
Alright, good for him.
Mercedes needs something, so if it's fastest lap, then I'm sure Masopes will take it at this point. And so will Warm Mule, obviously.
Sorry for not talking much, y'all. This is what happens whenever you get home from work and then you have to immediately join in a race. So,
Well, I would be talking more too. This is just what happens when Jackson Altman gets out to a 14.5 second lead, and even the guy in second has a time penalty.
Red Bull dominance has fast.
This is like watching Always Joker race in a pub lobby. It's pretty bad. Usually for the other guys, in case you were wondering.
We'll definitely appreciate that comment.
Not really. I don't understand some of the logics behind these drivers. Killer is this close to second place, saving battery. Jackson has a 15-second lead and he's killing his battery. So I'm not sure. And Darludo is in second with the time penalty with the most battery out of all three of them. So I'm not sure why the guys behind Jackson by so much would be saving and Jackson wouldn't be. I guess he just really wants to put this race to bed. Or I guess maybe he just feels like qualifying.
I don't know, but one thing for sure is that this is the longest race without a VRS or a safety car at some point, and I gotta say, kudos to all the F1 drivers tonight for keeping things clean.
One thing I will say this is proving, me not understanding why Jackson isn't saving battery and everyone else is, and the strategy that's going on in this race just shows that I'm not going to be a psychiatrist uh, or anything like that. I cannot read people's minds, nor can I guess anything. However, I can do basic math, so that's helpful. But
I mean, either way, We're about less than and we're with a 3-second time penalty. Coming up to, I believe, 10 to go, and yeah, I
So
mean, uh,
I think the strategy that they're saying out even longer than I thought they were going to now is at this point I would even just take softs. Coming to 9 to go. We saw earlier in the race, softs last about 8 laps before they fall off. If you're Jackson Altman, you have a 26-second lead. Are you going to lose 26 seconds in 1 lap? It sure takes a lot.
no. I mean,
and
I'd be real surprised if he does.
and if he takes softs, a guy like Jackson with his pace, there's no doubt in my mind he can get fastest lap. So why not get fastest lap and the win? As
Oh, first and
Furch,
there, 3-second time penalty.
tragic.
Yay for Furch.
Is that Furch getting lapped? Did that just happen? Furch just got lapped. Furch. Furch.
And somebody's parked.
It's Jackson Allman. He's
That's
pitting.
no, that's always Eric. That's very much in sector 1, sector 2.
Yeah, always Eric is replacing Brinkerhoff. We didn't talk about him when the leader's pitting. But
And the leader is pinned. Yeah, like let's go get back to it. The leader is pinned at this time, with 28-second lead over that one Portuguese dude.
he put. I quit.
Did you see that?
He put on mediums with this many to go. I quit. I guess I don't know anything about Formula One. Why take softs and try to get the fastest lap when you can take mediums for fun? Is the Earth still round?
Or is there flatter like? Never mind.
I don't know. At this point, Kyrie Irving may be right. I'm not sure. uh, However, Jackson was so far out ahead. That is second place right behind him. However, he's on mediums and has to pit, but Clay does take the lead momentarily. That's something that's relevant. Speaking of relevance, always Eric. He's DNF'd. He's had enough in the Alfa Romeo car. Looks like they're not getting points this week, and now he is talking in game chat.
He is talking to himself. He is pulling a Randy Orton because he's got points inside his head.
And now
But
he's done. He's left.
yep,
Oh,
he's gone.
wait, is that a...
Clay's in the lead.
Okay, it's a caution in sector 1, 2, and 3 for a second, so I thought we were getting a virtual safety car for a little second there. I was about to,
And
scream.
just think about how frustrating that'd be for Clay, who is finally taking the lead over Jackson Altman, but Jackson Altman is right there.
And on a technicality of the time penalties, Jackson's still technically in the lead. So, Heredia.
God.
Don't be sorry.
Be better.
Be better. Porchy, I understand Porchy's strategy. He took softs. Thank you. Somebody listens as Darludo sets the fastest lap of the race on mediums.
129.8.
You know, I try.
And here comes Jackson Altman taking the lead. That was very quick.
And LD Allen has a time penalty now as well. Oh my goodness. Oh.
Wow.
We have 12 cars running, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of them have time penalties. That is a whopping 75%. All of you need to retire, like me.
Yeah, because you got school back, and which, by the way, good luck to you in this year's new semester, new
I
year.
want to die already, and it's been a week.
Hey, I'm glad I don't have to worry about that compared to you and the young fellas in the league. So yeah.
Hold on.
All right. Well, Speed, good chance to It's just gonna be AFK at the moment. Yeah. So I'm hoping down on his end that we do see Jackson Altman in the lead. Clay is just about to pull away. Not to pull away, but Jackson Altman's about to pull away from Clay at the moment. You got to see the dominating performance, the passion that Jackson has in this race. My lord, it's been incredible. Barber with another 3-second time penalty. And pretty much we're down to 7 laps to go here in this race. 7 laps to go this time by. We have not. It's been a clean race thus far. Send a shout out to our drivers because this has been fun. It's been clean. What more can you ask for? As Speedy will be back. As we're down to at least around 7 laps to go this time by. This has been a fun race to call, and of course, what more can you say? Oh my god. Wow. So, Bede is gonna be devastated by this news. Um, alright, so. Did you see the announcement?
I leave this stream, F1 stream, in 1 second, and Jim announces his HPL retirement. Is that what I'm reading?
Yeah.
Well, Jim, as a teammate of yours, we're gonna miss you. You were in that 11 for a long time. You won a few races for us. Um, I'm glad I had you for teammate for a short period of time, and I'm definitely glad I got to do booth with you for a few races. So have fun in that retirement thing. I've done it before. May not even last long like mine did, but if it does, we're gonna miss you, and you deserve a break anyway after how you were raced last night. So
Yeah. I don't even know what to say at the moment.
well, this race isn't giving us much to say, is it? But no, that's gonna be a hit to our team and JGR, especially our Cup team. If you look at our Cup team right now, a lot of our points and our all-time wins, even actually, a lot of them come from Jim, as Heredia has decided that he's going to get a time penalty and ruin Jim's moment here. But Jim, if you're watching,
Yeah.
thank you, and we'll miss you. If you're not, well, why would you?
Yeah. So, and you know what? I do want to say something as far as the way I feel about Big Jim is that Jim is been one of my best friends in this entire league. He's also been supportive on the Fighting Now page that I've been doing on YouTube and Instagram. Jim has always been like so down to earth, type of guy you just want to have a beer with. And of
Mm.
course, go to a Vegeta Tech game. On behalf of myself and Speed, I can't believe I'm even saying this, but Jim, we'll miss you, buddy. And, you deserve a long break after things went down for you last night. Um, I hate that it was your last race, and I think, it's kind of crazy to say, but for the first time in quite a while, the 11's open. I don't know what to say about that.
Yeah. And I mean, from what I've from what I've seen and heard from Jim, we do have a few guys in Hennessy that are good at both the booth and racing. It's very rare. If you notice, Jake, probably the best broadcaster of all time, but only has one win racing. Electric, done a lot of booths. He's really well at them. Only has one win at Martinsville. Myself, people think I'm pretty good in the booth. I only got 3 wins. Jim is somebody who can lead a broadcast, but he can also win races in our league's Premier Series. And that mixture and that mold and the person Jim is, you just don't find often. So he will be missed.
I don't know. It's just at this point, and we're not even paying attention to the race, which we do apologize, but
Electric. Come on. Don't be sorry.
speed.
Be better. I'll give a shout out to a guy here. We haven't talked about LD much, but he is hanging in the points position right now, so we got to give him that. Same thing with Furch. We saw him crash, but he gets points right now. Borty Dude, Ronnie Mack, great runs. Electric Blade still going to get a top 5. Killer and Darludo could have a battle for third here, but unfortunately, Darludo has a time penalty, which would give Killer third regardless, unless something catastrophic happens.
Yeah, and man, I don't know, but I just it's hard for me to even focus on paying attention to a race after the news that was dropped. And it was a demand released by Jim as well. So that should tell you that Jim is what? Oh my God,
Darludo! No!
Darludo.
And he just reset the track! No, Mikey,
That's gonna
no, that's
go
not right.
Killer.
No. Killer, that pretty much asserts that he's going to get a podium. But since we're on the last lap, better review the leader, Jackson Altman. With the time penalty, he's about out to a 12-second gap. As we have... Oh my god, is that Darludo again? Oh my god, that was Darludo again. Darludo, you're choking. You're selling the bag. You're selling. You can't be selling on stream. You can't be doing it. You can't be caught doing it. Jackson Altman is out here carrying Red Bull while Darludo is selling the bag. Oh
Well,
my
final
goodness.
lap of the last lap of the race is something happening in sector two. Jackson Altman dominating performance as always,
He
and
was literally racing for second a lap ago. He's not even gonna get sixth because of his time penalty. He,
wow. And Jackson, for the final time, comes around, and Jackson is gonna win here at Silver Springs. Jackson Altman takes home the win.
and does a donut because he feels like it. Now, will he stop and cause a wreck like last week? Nah,
Nah,
that's
no,
unfortunate. I was hoping you'd do
no,
that.
no. The game actually, well, this track is
Oh,
different.
killer, Will. Attaboy, killer. Park it right there. Coming right through. Anybody get hit him? Nah.
No, they're not gonna hit him. You bunch of bums.
Anybody? Anybody in like 13th, 12th? Doesn't matter
They're
now.
not
All of
gonna.
you are finished. They're not gonna. Wow.
They're not going to. That's sad. That's an L to the stream.
Could give us a little bit of entertainment. Killer lined it up for you. Oh, and Darludo, because he didn't hit Killer, he sold the bag twice. I don't even care. He sold it twice in one lap. Actually, three times because he spun twice. He sold three times in the span of one lap.
Wow. What a race that was, y'all.
The art of a cell. No, not the cell, not cells. We're not talking about any science cells here. The art of selling.
So, because of what happened, everyone's projecting on who's going to go to the 11.
I I have no idea. I'm a JGR guy, so that concerns me a little bit. But whoever it is, I'm sure I'll get to meet him and talk to him, and hopefully we can mend together as a teammate, or maybe it's somebody within the team. I have no idea. Uh, Regardless, we'll talk more about that as next week. I would definitely tune in next Thursday night for the Cup race now, because we have a new guy in 11 for the first time since way before my time here. Probably like season 2, season 1 maybe even. Jim's been here a long time. Uh, but regardless, that is NASCAR next week. We have F1 interviews to do right now. So we need Jackson Altman, Killer, and Clay, whose prayers weren't exactly answered, but he got a podium.
Yeah. Uh, Hopefully my broadcast can be better next week.
Oh, nobody's gonna be mad at you for that. I mean, it's not exactly your fault that somebody as big as Big Jim himself decided to just retire mid F1 race.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jake, if you can just invite Jackson, Killer, and Clay.
Yeah, Jackson Killer Clay. Like,
What a race! Let's just take a step back from Jim retiring and all that stuff for a second. What a race that was! All the time penalties and pandemonium from Darludo selling three times in one lap
Jack
to
who?
Jackson Altman. Jackson.
And
Jackson, Killer, and Clay. So we need. neither of the other Jacks, race F1 that I'm aware of
Okay,
anyway.
and Clay.
Yeah, it does make it hard. We have like 3 Jacks in Hennessy. I guess that's what happens when you have like 160 members. But
Yeah, pretty much.
which, while I'm talking about members, if you want to join our Discord, uh, Always Joker and Masopes, those are your 2 main guys to talk to. Uh, you could talk to me or Jake as well, because
Yeah,
I can talk to Masopes. But
yeah. I mean, we can all talk to myself. I do not see Clay online at all.
really, ah,
Yeah.
I'll try.
Oh, hang on. I forgot his name. He changed his name to Clay's Cream.
Yeah, you can do it. I have faith.
Yeah.
I've seen you do some things a little wilder than finding Clay's name.
I got it.
All right. Well, while we're waiting for the other 2 to join, Jackson, welcome to the booth. What a race you ran. Um, just take us through a race and that qualifying as well. You kind of had like an anything you can do, I can do better type of qualifying with your teammate there. So just take us through that.
Yeah, I don't know. I knew I made some mistakes on the lap I counted, so just had to clean them up and knew that I could try and make them better.
I mean, yeah, for sure. I did have one more question for you, and I'll even ask it to the other driver in the party. I believe it was Clay who it might have been Clay who joined. Who was it that joined?
Yep.
Clay, yeah. So I was kind of confused on the hard strategy at the start, and I saw why you took that, but I didn't really understand mediums with just 8 to go. So can you kind of like give me your reason as of to why you took mediums instead of maybe softs, perhaps?
Yeah, the softs on this game, they start to overheat quickly, and then they start to lose a ton of grip after probably about 4 or 5 laps, so I feel more comfortable with the mediums.
I
And
presume.
everyone behind me's like mediums too. Like there's 2 other people that were on my strategy, so I knew if I just copied them, it'd be all right.
Yeah. Well, thank you for being clear and precise, and congrats on your run. Jake, any
Uh,
questions?
no questions. I do want to say this though. I mean, you have been dominating like crazy, but congratulations on the win, and I'm very excited to see how it goes for you.
Very well said from both of you. Clay, another one of those races I kind of
Mm.
mentioned earlier in the night where maybe in qualifying you don't have as good as pace as Jackson some nights, but you're kind of one of those guys who just let these races come to you. So uh, just kind of describe your race and how you went from further back in the starting order to running for the lead there at a point in time. So I think you qualified 3rd, but still in that gain of a spot or so during the race.
Yeah, so I started on the soft, and I really thought there would be a safety car going into maybe like later in the quarter, maybe earlier, and then I would pit for the hards, and then try to try to extend my tires to the best of my ability. And but there obviously was no safety car, and so I had to improvise and try and stretch out my softs so my hards would make it to the end. And then there's another problem where I underfueled, and at the end of the race, like legit the last lap, I had 0.50 in my gas tank, and then I ran out at like the third or second to have third sector, and yeah, and then I dropped back to P3 and almost lost the podium because I had a penalty. And so, yeah, it was a roller coaster of a race, and Jackson did a good job with the strategy. And yeah,
Ever said, Jake, you got anything for him?
One thing I definitely do say is that Clay, you had another great podium on your end. Talk to us on what the strategy could be as far as next week on how your performance could be.
So, analyzing this race compared to the other races, this race was obviously much better. No incidents really, except for electric and church, but we won't get into that. But going into the next race, I think it will be a Mola. Uh, I might do the maybe hards to mediums like it was this race, or maybe mediums to hards. Maybe like not risk it for a safety car like I did, and risking or selling a possible win. And yeah, hopefully it will turn out that way. And yeah.
Yeah, very well said by both of you. But Jake, if that's the only question you have,
Yeah, that's the only question I have.
well, boys, I guess your two part is done. But as for us, I kind of agree with Clay on that. With the whole safety car thing, for a track as challenging as this is, and the new car and everything that's going on, and the fact that we had safety cars at simpler tracks earlier in the year, and they literally changed what tracks they were going to the day of the race. Figured there'd be at least one virtual safety car during the race, but fool me once. Shame on, I don't know. I forget the line right now. I'm on the spot, but that is it from Silverstone or Great Britain, whatever you want to call it. While we're talking about Britain, uh, Jake, if you want to
Yeah,
mention,
as far as next week though, I mean, make sure you guys get a chance to subscribe to us on our YouTube channel because we have more racing in store for you guys as far as the NASCAR series, the F1 series. Jackson will have to let us know where we're heading to next Friday. But make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, and make sure to join us here in Henderson Performance League. But from all of us here, as far as myself and Speed Racer, saying so long, and we'll